All right, let's get into the second coming of the Lord. And Adonia means the Lord. And we see Trump at that debate. Well, he's that masturbator, and he had everybody swallow whatever he was given, and that guy's a winner. He is winning, and everything he said was great, and he's right. He's right. That's the mark in the right hand to worship his name and number. And he's gathering the people over to the red, and the left is going to the right, so-called, and they're saying Biden has to leave and those types of things. But the second coming of the Lord, this is where we're going into a time where people are cast to these positions. They're cast for these times, and these men are going back to where all things are written, and the things are written about these kinds of men and where we're going into. So the deviants and such, with the AI backwards, they see AI and they get it all backwards, those things. But this is where the people who see this as a deviant, or this is a pervert or whatever, the people calling the names, it's like pointing fingers. You got three pointing back at you. So if you're calling somebody a pervert, you're 3 times a pervert for even thinking that way. And you've been programmed to think that way. So you've been programmed as the pervert to see perversion. Do you understand? So as the Johnson is the so-called wiener, and that's the speaker 119. This 119 is going to be playing a tune backwards for that 911 backside, and that's Trump, the 9, the 45, coming in for the 11, and that's the L even. That's to make himself equal with God and to gather the nation of Baal, and that to Satan and those things, because the Lord equals Satan in the Old Testament in Kings and Chronicles. So the second coming of the Lord is the second coming of Satan, and this is where we see these so-called perversions being worked into the names of people, like Came Allah, Come Allah, and this is where the Biden, the bi for the bisexual, the bi-6 for the 66. The 3 scores is tied to the kings, and the sexual perversions they're tied to, or whatever, right? And one of the kings has been so-called spy and has had to work deep cover. Deep cover means he's going underneath those covers for that second coming. All right. So the Dick and Cheney, all right, and the Bush and the Dick, they've already came. And you had the Bill and the Biden, the Bill Clinton. All right, maybe Bill is that secret gay lover of Biden or whatever that's going to come to the funeral or some shit or whatever, right? The succeeding and preceding and all those things, the skulls and bones, they supposedly have sexual orientations of sorts, if you've done your research. But this is kind of tied back to where all these presidents are tied to these secret fraternities and such. And the succeeded would be where they probably go to the lower depths. And then the preceded is where they take it up the rear. So all these things can be brought out to a light, and we're going back to where these are built on. So all these laws that the Bible's based on about all this, that, and the other, and the clean meat and the clean foods and clean versus unclean and the unclean for the UN clean and all that stuff, all that's for these times coming up. All right. And then as these are broke out in our society in different ways, these will be the different light transfers to take one to another and help the old temple collapse and the new build up. And basically the Antichrist, which is at work already, and the souls and spirits of man, they are going to be taken down because they're anti-man. They don't know who Christ is. Their Christ, their begotten Son, has been taken from them. And as their so-called Christ is being taken down, they don't really understand who Christ is. They're going to be anti-Christ, actually, as their Christ has been transformed to something else. And then this is where the real Christ comes in to take over their Christ, and it's the battle of the Christ. Okay. What are they doing? What are they doing? So, the gay is the GA. That's for the George AI, and these things. So that's where so-called everybody is gay in our nation, because they're worshiping so-called George Washington, and that Washington, well, that's where you get dunked inside the water, inside washing. And this is where Jesus is like, whoa, I'm staying right here. I'm going to get out of this water. I'm going to go over here and dry off in the sun. Okay? So, get under there. This Washington is getting slower and slower as the power is going out. As the power goes out, they get left underwater. And this is where you see in Genesis, there was darkness upon the deep, and God's Spirit moved upon the face, because these people are underwater. And they're looking up, where's our God? Where's our God? He said they're coming in the clouds. Where is he? I shouldn't even be here. They said I was going to be raptured out of here. They said I was going to be raptured. I didn't give two shits about this earth. I didn't give two shits about this man, this woman, this child. Who gives a shit about the next coming generation? Jesus is coming back to set up his kingdom, when Jesus tells you it's not of this earth, that it's inside us. And as it's inside us, those who think they're on top are slowly being brought to the bottom. And that's the bottom, that Washington. The bottom of the Washington, the bottom of their nation. It's at its lowest point ever. And it's the Biden. It's the second coming. We're all getting fucked. The Jesus inside me, the Satan inside of me is getting fucked. Who am I going to let rise up out of my heart? The donkey, the bad Don, he has the keys to the pit. Well, everybody's about to take it up the ass. And that ass is the SS, the Social Security, the retirement, the tire. That spare tire's already been laid out for you, that you're not going to want on your fucking car. So this is when the woman's on top. Dawn's doing a switch hitter. That switch hitter, switch. It's getting dark in here. I'm gonna go get with the tranny Kamala. The train New York. The train, that light that's trained on that New York light, that neon light that shines bright in those nightclubs. Come on in. We're open. That neon light is that dark light for those day dwellers, that devil that lives inside you. It's been brought to you, this fucking good world, but it's controlling you. That mark in the name and the number is part of the right-hand part of Washington, who's on your bills. The bill, quack, 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 quack. I'm a foul. You smell like shit. Duck, duck, goose. switch hitter, the dark, Kamala, the moon. This moon comes out and creates us a man, physical, so-called, a person on person coming to create the darkness in this world. This is when America's so-called the nails being put on the coffin. And as that coffin, everybody thinks Jesus is with them. But as that coffin is lowered into the dirt, gets dark. The 6 feet, the 6 scores, or the 3 scores and 6, the 6 feet you're under. Start getting hit in the head with shit. Hit in the head with shit, cracks you. Just like Don's throwing at you. Just like they're gonna dump in the fucking rivers for Olympics, they're telling you, the sea. That Jack and Jill. Jill is the H. That high, that lake of fire coming through the Jill. That burns. That volcano. Joe versus a volcano coming up. Her spouting out this lava. The lava is a Kamala. Come Allah. Well, Allah's here. That spiritual battle's ready. That 4D sword in the back. Sword versus the fucking sword. Maybe your bullets are gone. Better go get your sword. Better learn how to use the left and the right hand. Spiritually and physically. The switch hitter. The combo fighter. Alright, when you switch it up, you can go around. This is how I snatched the pebbles from the Sifu's hand, so to speak, in the dojo back in the day. Is I was able to the Sifu 90% of the time, because I knew how to go around. And he didn't know how'd you do that? How'd you do that? I think I created it. I'm not sure. I haven't been taught this in the 5 years I've been here. So, and you're asking me how I'm doing it. So I guess I created it. But either way, is a way I snatched the pebbles from the Sifu's hand. The balls, the bells, so to call, about to be fucking rammed by that that tranny in the dark, dude. All right, they get a little rough. One time I saved my friend Dawson at the library. The library was the name of the bar, but I saved my friend from going home with a tranny because I'm a hairstylist and I have a really good gaydar, but it goes off. Either way, I saved my boy. Either way, the second coming is going to be coming in a XXX kind of fashion, and perversion and the Epstein, all that's part of the deep cover, part of that blackmail, part of that once you go black, you don't go back. So they're going to buy and sell into this blackmail, so-called, and they're going to be going over there to the sheets or whatever, the shits and the she-ETs, and that's all the fake shit or whatever. But either way, guys, the testicles for the New Testament, the bell worship, ball worship, man's on top, woman sucks, man rules. Paul says a woman can't speak. No more speaking for you. All that kind of evil, weird shit.